Hello Mr. Gergis, have you heard about the riots in the Middle East, especially in Egypt?
Yes, I have, indeed, and I do know information you may want to hear about.
Information that's not in the news? Alright.
First, did you know that the riots are a result of mistreatment and carelessness from the government?
But how? I thought the powerful United States provided them with foreign aid nearly $1.5 billion a year.
You're right. But the real question is, how does the dictator, Hosni Mubarak, use the money?
Please explain.
The riots are a result of a huge number of people who have had enough of extreme poverty, lack of adequate health care, high food prices, lack of available jobs, and a huge lower class that do not have basic necessities like water or electricity. So where does the money go? It's quite simple. Hosni Mubarak, the dictator of Egypt, keeps much of the foreign aid and bribes important members of his cabinet and parliament in order to keep their mouths shut.
So, if he does that, how much money does Mubarak have?
It has been reported that in one of many Swedish bank accounts he has a little over $5 billion, others say $10 billion. And that's just in one of his bank accounts.
Oh my goodness, he takes the money and refuses to give it to his nation's desperate people? How ruthless. And what is his salary supposed to be?
An Egyptian president's salary is supposed to be £5,000 a month. 1,000 US dollars. So in 1 year he would make £60,000, 12,000 US dollars.
Now that's ridiculous news.
Now you may be angry at this dictator for doing this, yet you must realize that he has support.
Who in the world would support this guy?
Out of the many, the United States, who supplies foreign aid to Egypt, supports Mubarak's dictatorship.
No way. We are a democratic nation and love democracy alone.
I understand your complaints. However, listen to what I will say. Is it easy for someone to bribe or convince our president to do something as someone else who is a dictator and can nearly do whatever he wants? You must understand that with a dictator like Hosni Mubarak in power, it is much easier for the US to have their interests represented in the Middle East. And not just that. Egypt is considered an ally to the US because their lack of hatred towards Israel and their fight against terrorism.
Wait, was there not a church bombing on New Year's Eve?
Good question. Like I said, Mubarak does not use the foreign aid money to help or preserve peace and unity in Egypt.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Do continue.
So finally, the United States is afraid that if Mubarak were to be replaced due to these riots and protests, the possible new dictator may not represent or care about the US's interests like he does.
Wow, now that makes sense and is simple logic. Thank you for your time.
Anytime. I like it when the Americans are informed.